I am the President and CEO of a national trade association, NATE, the Communications Infrastructure Contractors Association. We have 1,150 member companies all over the country. We have members in all 50 states. We just so happen to have two of our founding companies in South Dakota, and so I'm humbled to be here as we memorialize workers today who died as a result of a workplace accident. And our association, our industry, knows all too well about these situations. And so I want to take everybody back to 1994. There's a company in the industry in Watertown, South Dakota called Tower Systems. There's a representative or two here today from Tower Systems. They had a tower crew doing work in the state of Arkansas. They were building a 240-foot self-support communications tower. And self-supporters are the ones over there on the far. So they were building one of those towers, and a tower tech by the name of Kelly McNeil was working at about the 180-foot mark and fell. And immediately, of course, upon impact, he passed away. And you got to keep in mind, in that decade, that point in time in our industry, it was described as the Wild West. There was not the elaborate technology, the safety equipment. So these men and women who were working at heights on communication towers had the leather lineman's belts is what was propping them up. And so the CEO at the time of Tower Systems was a gentleman who's no longer with us named Bill Carlson. On the drive home from Arkansas to Watertown, that is what spawned NATE. And of course, we were initially National Association of Tower Erectors as an association. And so the very next year, 1995, we had four kind of main drivers of NATE. Bill Carlson from Tower Systems in Watertown. VIKOR here used to be Sioux Falls Tower, and their CEO, Craig Schneider, was one of our founders. And then two other gentlemen convened 66 companies in Dallas in 1995. And that's where they created the articles, the bylaws. That's where NATE as a trade association was established. And so if you fast forward now today to 2023, we've grown, we have 1,150 member companies. But the thing we're proud of is the culture of safety and professionalism that we've tried to instill since that fatality occurred in '94 to today. And a big part of that is our collaboration with OSHA. We have mutually aligned goals and objectives with OSHA. We're involved in an awful lot as a trade association, as you can imagine. We develop a lot of the safety resources, the standards. We lobby in Washington, D.C. with Congress and government agencies. We host trade shows and events, and we have a lot going on. But if you could drill down our mission of why we existed as an organization and why our members pay dues annually to our association, it would be because we want to see every man and woman who works in our industry come home every night. And OSHA has the same objectives. And so we are proud that we have a NATE OSHA FCC National Strategic Partnership where we have member companies who, on their own merit, participate in proactive site safety audits where they identify hazards before climbing commences on these towers. And then we submit quarterly data and we evaluate that data with OSHA. So that's one area we collaborate closely with OSHA is this partnership. We also have been blessed, 7 of the last 8 years, we have received the OSHA Susan Harwood Grant Training Program. So we get federal training funds. And each year we focus on kind of a different one of the deficiencies that occur in our industry. This year's program is on electrical hazards. A lot of these cell towers now are being built closer to the right-of-ways. You know, they're directly you know, in the crosshairs of electrical lines. So that is our training program this year. So we're really proud of this training grant. We've been able to offer training in 41 states. Our goal is to hit all 50 the last 7 years, 41 states. And this training is free for our industry through this training grant. And next week is the annual OSHA safety stand down. And it's a week that OSHA sets aside that they really encourage industries to have events and companies to have events to promote safety and stand down from the job site. And Nate has annually participated in that to the point where the Wednesday every year of the OSHA Safety Stand Down Week, we have a National Tower Technician Appreciation Day. And so next Wednesday is the 6th annual Tower Tech Appreciation Day, where we not only honor the contributions that these men and women make to make this possible for all of us, but we also remember those who have passed away while working on the job. And that's a good segue to me talking about one of the other watershed moments in Nate's history as an organization, which now spans 28 years, was in 2014 we established a nonprofit Tower Family Foundation. So this foundation exists if there's an accident in our industry, whether it be a fatality or an accident, we can immediately send funds to the family, and it's intended to be a bridge, and this is significant resources, to get the family through that interim period. And so just this morning, I got an email, an application on this foundation from a family that was impacted. And so we can get this check. We have an advisory committee, which I'm a part of. John Eastman's a part of from VIKOR. We can get this money to the family within 72 hours. And so we're very proud of that. What we always say is we hope that money just sits in the bank and is never used, but we have that as a resource and as a source of support. And finally, I'd just like to share, you know, we've made tremendous strides in our industry, but to the previous speaker, you know, complacency is the biggest enemy. And this year to date, we have 0 fatalities in our industry, but you know, we can't take anything for granted. We're committed to making sure, again, that every man and woman who works in our industry, most of these technicians, as you can imagine, work at extreme heights, and you know, we want them to return home safely each and every night. And fast forward to where we are and where this event's being held today, we've come a long way. This is one of the most state-of-the-art training centers that companies in our industry have, and you guys are sitting in here, and we're proud of that. But it takes this level of training to make sure that the men and women are safe. So I appreciate the opportunity, Eric and Sheila, for Nate to be a part of today's memorial event, and our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to those of you who have experienced heartache and tragedy through a loved one in the workplace. So thank you.